Hey Divine Peeps, KM here, back with another video at the channel Hawksfly. The place Hawksfly, my bad. And if you've seen the title of this video, it's Remembering Your Divine Presence, because it's always there. Which means your attitude, your thoughts, your feelings dictate everything, but you get to select them. They're all in your control. I've come to learn this through unconditional love, which is looking and observing something without judgment of any kind. When you learn to do this, and you learn it's always available, no matter your situation, circumstances do arise, we all know this. But no matter the circumstances, no matter the people, no matter what they're doing, you can maintain a state of peace and bliss just by observing and being okay with it without judgment. That is what true unconditional love is without judgment. And this divine presence is what Jesus talked about. This is God energy or life force energy. It literally is your divinity, your gift from God, your birthright. And when you can maintain this state of being through meditation, prayer, whatever you want to call it, and you can learn how to take captive all your thoughts, all your emotions tied to the thoughts you think, and incorporate it with the right attitude of peace, love, joy, kindness, and always take a pause and breath with every situation you may encounter and be able to shift back into that state at all times. You'll realize you'll be able to breeze through life with flow and ease, and all your manifestations will come to you because you are literally being love. You are literally stepping in to your divine power. And the world has no choice, the universe has no choice but to reflect it back to you. And it will reflect it back to you tenfold. And what sounds so hard isn't really that hard. Our ego tries to keep us safe, so it keeps us in situations from doing things or believing that we have to do things to keep ourselves safe. So it will give you scenarios to talk you out of it. You can't let your ego override you. Your ego will try to keep you safe by talking you out of just looking at things without judgment. It'll talk you out of following your divine purpose of enthusiasm and passion. That's also your divine presence. Passion, love, things that drive you without feeling like it's work. It'll literally drive you with flow. It doesn't feel forced. There's no resistance, because it seems like we tend to, when we do things we deem as not fun or do things where we feel obligated, there's this sense of pressure and force and resistance, and it makes us feel miserable. It literally causes suffering. That's why, your thoughts and your feelings and your attitude are a big part of your divinity. If you really realize that you are in control of it all, you control how you want to feel. You control what meaning you put to what thoughts and what feelings you have. You think it's on autopilot, and technically your ego is a system, but it's a system that can be programmed for you to use to your advantage. Literally, it's a paradox. You can use it, or it will use you by default. So literally staying in the divine presence, and meditation helps with just being. That's what it's for. It's to calm your mind, to relax your body, and realize your essence of who you are, which is your non-physical. Your spirit having a human experience, not the other way around. And when you learn through meditation of just being, it allows you to maintain and train your ego on this state, this feeling state of bliss and peaceful and joy. And you could be able to look at everything without judgment. It's literally that simple. It's programming the ego to go along with you instead of it trying to force you to go along with it. But when we stay in this state of peace and bliss, like, others around you will feel it. And some people that are negative, it literally it literally irritates what I consider demons, but it irritates their energy field. And people that are with it will be drawn to you. So it's almost like when you realize, like, those people that are lonely out there, I notice on YouTube a lot of people are, making videos of being lonely, and loneliness is actually a lesson of its own. I'm an expert on solitude. I thrive on solitude. It took me a while through solitude and through walking through hell of my own ego to get where I am today, but you'll realize solitude is actually a blessing, because it's the lesson is it's trying to tell you that you need to learn about you. It's telling you you need to remember who you are. It's telling you that is the time to dive in. To be divine, dive in. Divine, dive in to your presence of who you are, which is divinity, is God. You are God in the flesh. And you are God in the observation of spirit. Which is, to be an observer is to look at everything, and you don't have to have an opinion about it. You can just look at it for what it is. But that's where the assumptions and stuff are created, through thoughts and feelings, and knowing how to focus your attention on the ones that you actually take for as true. And you being God, you can decree what is true. You don't have to autopilot focus on all the bad, because you're just magnifying it. I've learned this through a lot of misery. I was a miserable person. That part died. I literally had an ego death because I was literally that fed up. I literally had to give up. And it's more like giving up and being okay with that possibility of being that way. But you realize when you give up, you give in. You literally let that energy flow out of you, in you and out of you. It's when you get attached that you suffer, because you're trying to hold on to this energy, or you're trying to think that you need to hold on to this energy to fix it, or hold on to this energy to heal it. To really heal, there's really no such thing. When you remember who you are, there's really no healing, because who you are cannot be hurt. It cannot be killed. It cannot be affected by anything of the physical world. It's outside of space and time. And unconditional love, that is just what it is. It's without judgment. It literally just is. It can't be affected by anything. We are only experiencing what it's like to feel and have emotions, but they don't define us. What defines us is just love. We were created and born out of love. That's the only truth. Everything else is just an illusion of experience, which is, it's not all bad. It can be fun. If you look at life with a casualness and funness, even when you see chaos, the way I see chaos now is more like, okay, now I know everything's working out for me, because that chaos means it's shifting around something to bring me what I decreed that I wanted, or what I decreed that I know that I am, because I am the I am. I'm everything and nothing all rolled into one. And it all comes back with no judgment. I can literally not fight with no one anymore. It's just, it literally, I can tell how it's a drain of energy and it goes nowhere. If you literally look at someone and they're trying to argue with you, and you just go, okay, and walk away, okay, and be like, I love you, okay. If that's the way you see it, that's the way you see it. And you just walk away. Some of them are left so dumbfounded, and some are left really angry because they know what they're doing. They're literally trying to feed off your energy, and they can't. So it makes them really upset. But when you have the revelation to look at what I just said, see how their own thoughts and the way their perception of things is actually what's causing their own suffering. So you are responsible for your own suffering. Suffering it is necessary for growth, but it's only necessary for growth when you can look past the suffering. See, we've got so programmed into focusing on the suffering that it brings more suffering, instead of focusing on what the suffering is trying to tell us. because the suffering always has a lesson in it. It's that contrast is so you can expand. And I've come to a whole range of expansion. Like I'm expanding so rapidly, it's blowing my mind, and there's only no place to go but more up. Like there I can't go any down, and it's like the more and more I sink into love and seek into my divine nature of just being in awe with loving and no judgment, when you start to see like old patterns or old stories try to come up, or you see it in other people, you realize like even if you wanted to, when you try to go back and experience that, it starts to feel so unnatural that you oh sorry, excuse me, that you won't like it. It feels so unnatural, you know it's not authentic. So it drives you to keep moving forward. It really does. The darkness drives you to the light, and the light always shines on the darkness. And that's why it's a paradox, but that's why you need both. You really need both, because out of the chaos does create order. Because the chaos makes you see like you're getting what you want. It's just got to shift some things around. But anyways, always remember, if you're in a state where you're in anxiety or fear, or someone's trying to fight with you, or you feel like things ain't going your way, remember to take a step back and breathe deep and remember your divine divinity of peace, joy, love. It's always there. It's literally, you can shift in it anytime you want. You just got to remember that when thoughts and these feelings come up, the ones you don't want to experience, just let them come and go, because they're all ever fleeting anyways. We are literally vapor. This experience might feel like a lifetime because our linear sense of time, but it's actually a vapor. And once it's gone, you don't get it back. So it's like really focus on having fun and remembering who you are. This ain't really even learning, it's really just remembering. We're remembering through experiences, good, bad, or indifferent. We're remembering who we are, and we're remembering how to stay in the divine nature of what we are, which is just awareness and observation of love without judgment. But if anyone got anything out of this, any value, comment, like, subscribe, share, donate. The Cash App is in the link if you feel like donating. But we'll always walk in truth, love, and light. Honesty and love is the key. Like, if this channel is based off learning how to uplift people, this is all about purity, love, light, and understanding the remembrance of our divinity. And if you're not down with that, that's fine. Go watch someone else. But if I hope that this reaches someone, because this is why I do this. I do this for me, of course, to document my evolution, to document my expansion and what I'm learning. But I really do want it to help people. I really want to shed light and bring them to their divinity. That would make me happy. I'm all about spreading love. I really am, because the person I used to be, like, in a sense, I feel like I'm making up for it, but I'm doing my part. But I'm doing it from a place of love, not regret. I'm doing it from a place of love. But anyways, have a good weekend. Walk with love. Till next time.